ya está grabando. Miguel, o como dicen aquí, otra vez, en inglés.
No, no, como quieras.
Miguel,
Miguel,
eh,
Miguel,
Miguel, como dicen. A ver, otra vez. In English, Miguel,
Miguel.
Miguel, how are you?
I'm doing well, man.
You are doing
Uh,
well. Very good.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I have uh, many things to think right now. So
Many things to think about.
eh, about my life, about the things happening in my life right now. I'm not sure very well what the fuck I'm doing with my life.
Well, before we get started, can you please introduce yourself?
Um, yeah, but I really don't know what to say about me. I'm just a young Mexican software engineer. I'm not very special at all.
Everybody is
uh,
special.
well, yeah. So I don't know what to say, man. It's like it's
Where where
weird. I never,
where where are you from?
well, I'm from a little state in Mexico called Tlaxcala. It's
Tlaxcala.
Yeah, it's I don't know, probably 2 or 3 hours from Mexico City, so it's very close, but it's a different world from Mexico City. It's
What what
too
do people
different.
what do people
But
say about Tlaxcala?
we are I don't know how to say it in English. Traders,
Traders?
traders, yeah. No, not traders like trader. No, it's
No, traidores,
traidores.
¿no? Ah,
Uh-huh. Yeah, but I don't know. Traders?
traders
Traders, yeah.
is
Well,
Traitors, traders.
huh. Well, I still need to get more practice with my English. I just I still being very bad at it, but
Your English
I
is very
tried.
good, very good.
Sometimes I right now I feel I always have this problem. Um, my whole environment is always in Spanish. The
Mm-hmm.
only point in my life when I just need the English is when I read documentation from something or news or some things like that. But my whole environment is just Spanish, and when I start talking English, I just need a little bit of time to get into it. But
You need time to warm up and then
yeah,
some beer.
so yeah, I'm from beer. Yeah, I have problems with that fucking word. Well,
La
I know the
cerveza, ¿no?
difference
La
between
chela.
the three. Yeah, yeah, but I know the difference between the three words like the barba, oso y
Oh,
cerveza.
beard. Yeah.
Pero siempre me confundo. It's
Beard,
weird.
beer, bear.
Es igual con tres y con árbol.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
um, but back to Tlaxcala. Why do they say that they are traitors? Traitors.
Well, it's a very funny story. But it's funny or fun? I don't remember it.
Funny.
Funny, yeah. It's a very funny story because,
Chistoso, ¿no?
yeah, in the Conquista, I'm so sorry, man. I feel,
So can I tell the story?
yeah, I just told it.
Essentially, when the Spanish came to Mexico, the Spanish were friendly, and then when they got to what was it, Tenochtitlan, the Spanish saw everything, and then they attack, and the Aztecs won. So then the Spanish recruited all of the um, tribes and the civilizations outside of the Aztecs to help take down the Aztecs. And No sé cómo se llaman los que de Tlaxcala. What are they called? Los de Tlaxcala.
Tlaxcaltecas. Tlax.
Tlaxcatecas.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but I don't think it was a recruitment. It was more than aliens, alianza,
Yeah, an alliance. So
alliance. Yeah,
they make deals with other towns to say, hey, if you help us, we will help you be liberated from the Aztecs because the what is it?
Tlaxcaltecas.
Tlaxcaltecas, they were never conquered by the Aztecs. So there were two different states. So Tlaxcala and other states helped the Spanish to attack the Aztec capital, Tenochtitlan, right?
Yeah,
Um, but they are not traitors because they were never friends, right?
and also we well, we don't have a country. In that point of the time, we are not a country. We are different
It's
tribus.
Tlaxcala. It was like a city state,
Yeah,
and the Aztecs were an empire. So it was two different civilizations. No,
yeah, that's basically what they told. What why they call us traitors.
traitors, because you helped the Spanish.
Yeah, but it's weird because the Spanish were 400 something like that.
The
And
Spanish 400.
yeah, they were like 400 soldiers, and
Uh-huh.
all the tribes,
The
just have
tribes.
yeah, all the tribes have I don't know, almost mm, 10,000, almost like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous. The number of Spanish and the number of indigenous was way
Mm-hmm.
different. So basically, Tlaxcala and the rest of the tribes just take Tenochtitlan with the help with the help of Spanish uh, soldiers. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel very good from being from Tlaxcala, for being from Tlaxcala. It's um, we have a very good history, but
Yeah. It's a good history because when the Aztec Empire grew, Tlaxcala never surrendered and was always independent, right?
yeah, and um, also when the Spanish empowerment started growing, all the people in Tlaxcala were like, I don't know how to say it, like this pronouns that they used to call some people in Europe, like lords and seers and ships like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The
they still,
nobility.
yeah, the nobility, they still having that nobility in Tlaxcala real estate, but when the revolution or the independence starts, all
Mm-hmm.
the things change. And also Tlaxcala just take um, just take away from the political scene. I don't know. I don't know how to explain this in English.
Pues a ver, dime en
Um,
español.
sí, cuando cuando fue la independencia,
Ajá,
uno de los principales cambios fue justamente que dejaron de respetar a las castas tlaxcaltecas.
ajá.
Y parte de esos castigos que se tomaron fue reducir el territorio de Tlaxcala a un estado muy, muy pequeño. Entonces, tanto el peso económico como político de la región, o bueno, al menos del estado, pues cayó,
Pues le
¿no? Ya
quitaron
nadie
todo,
los
¿no?
quería. Sí, así es. Y pues ahí es la razón por la que es un estado tan pequeño. De hecho, es the smallest state in the country. So,
Yeah.
and that's funny because I always say that I'm from the smallest state in the country, and I'm from the smallest town from the smallest state. Yeah, it's
so,
very
so you're from the smallest state, and you're from the smallest town in
town.
the smallest state.
Yeah, that's that's a very funny uh that's very funny. I mean, I always
Yeah,
make
yeah.
fun about it. Yeah.
Well, they in Mexico they always say that Tlaxcala does not exist, right? It's a it's a mythical place.
Can you repeat that? I don't know.
Que
I
es un
think
lugar
it's
que no
my
existe.
yeah. We are the national prank joke. I don't know what joke. Yeah,
You guys are the joke.
yeah, from the whole country, and
Yeah. So basically, when
it's
people say Tlaxcala, they're like, "Oh, that place doesn't exist. It's not real because it's so
yeah.
small. It's it's just a fairy
uh
tale."
yeah, absolutely. And also we get a lot of bully from other states because we don't have well, the first electric leader was
Elected leader.
yeah, well, that la escalera eléctrica.
Oh, uh-huh.
La primera escalera eléctrica que el estado tuvo llegó como en 2016.
The first electric, what are those called?
I don't know how
Escalators.
escalators.
The first
Okay,
escalator arrived in Tlaxcala in 2016.
yeah.
Everybody like goes to visit.
Yeah. And
They have a
there are many.
celebration.
Yeah, I mean, it was very fun because it appears in a local newspaper.
Local newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very fun, man. Yeah, and also there are a lot of videos of people trying to go in the escalator and falling. That was very
Wait, let me Google when was the first escalator invented?
something.
1859, 1859. Y llegó el 2016.
Fue en 2017.
2000. Oh my God. 2017. It only, I don't even know how many years that is. 100 and what, 60
Maybe
ish.
100 and something. Wow,
That is,
that's ridiculous, man.
here's a fun fact. I I have been to the world's longest, I guess, continuous escalator. Um,
Where was that?
Hong Kong.
Holy.
So La Scala, you were born there, you grew up there, um,
I studied there.
you studied there, but how did you so in a place like Tlaxcala that has no escalator until 2017, how did you become a software engineer?
Well, it was. I don't know, man. I just. Well, I think all the people I know who grows um destroying things and do things like that. When I don't know how to say it. When you were children, you don't have this necessity of just break your toys and see what the fucking hell was inside of it.
So you just want to break toys and see what's inside?
Yeah, just break the toys and see what the fuck is inside of it. Like
Uh-huh.
if it was a electrical thing, just see what the fucking hell was controlling it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my first feeling well, I just want to switch to Spanish to talk about this.
Okay.
Cuando estaba pequeño,
Uh-huh.
Siempre tuve pues esa como necesidad de saber cómo funcionaban las cosas, ¿no? Y creo que
Yeah.
mucha gente que está trabajando actualmente en algún área de la ingeniería o algo por el estilo cae en este espectro.
So basically, when you
Son,
were younger, you were always curious and how things work, and people that usually do some sort of engineering lie have that type of mentality of like, how does this work? What makes this tick?
yeah, I mean, we just have this kind of spectrum of
Yeah,
human being. I don't know
yeah.
what to say.
Curiosity, like, how does it work?
Sí, entonces cuando, pues, no sé, fue todo un cambio, porque la primera vez que yo tuve acceso a internet fue cuando tenía como 12 años. Sí, como
Okay.
12 años, en 2012.
So the first time you had internet access was when you were 12 years old.
Yeah.
Because you're one
And
way. But
uh,
I'm old.
yeah, you're very old, man.
Wow, thank you. So you got internet at 12 year or when you say internet, you mean like in a cafe, right?
Yeah, I know not at home. I mean, we the first time that I have internet in my own home, in my home, I was like probably 16 years old.
16.
Yeah. And also I
Yeah.
don't have no tenía una computadora.
Mm.
Um,
You didn't
mi
have a
primer,
computer.
yeah, mi primer computadora la tuve hasta los 19 años propia.
So you had your first your own computer for the first
Yeah.
time when you were 19 years old.
Yeah, and it was very weird because at the beginning I just start like trying to like replicate some YouTube tutorials when I was like
Mm.
in my 12 years old. When I was in my 12 years old, I was just trying to replicate some YouTube tutorials and do things like I remember how I met my first programming language was Python, and that's funny because tenía como unos 3 meses que el lenguaje de programación había salido y había muy poco contenido, ¿no? No es como hoy que tú puedes buscar en YouTube o en cualquier otra plataforma de cursos un curso para aprender Python y hay muchísima información. En
Ahora
esa
sí,
época,
¿no?
sí, ahora sí sería mucho más fácil empezar, ¿no?
Ujú.
Entonces,
¿Y por qué Python?
no tener acceso a una computadora propia y porque fue lo primero que me salió.
Ah, okay.
Fue lo primero que me salió cuando busqué en Google cómo aprender a programar.
So when you were 12 years old, you started to learn Python, but Python was brand new. So there were not a lot of tutorials, not a lot of information. Today, you can log on and download packages. It's on YouTube, everywhere you can find it, like a lot of content on Python. But back then, there was nothing. And when you Googled, hey, how to code, Python was the first one that showed up. So you started to learn it.
Yeah, but I just have to stop learning it because we were very poor. I mean, I was living in a very bad economical situation.
Mm-hmm.
It was not very good live in in Tlaxcala at that time. Well, at least for me. If you ask for someone else, probably they will say that it was a very good time, but for me it was a horrible time. We were extremely poor, um, many problems in my life at that time.
Yeah.
But yo iba aquí se llaman cibercafé, así se llaman. No te burles.
Sirve café.
Ajá, es como un internet público
Ajá,
donde
ajá.
tienen computadoras y pues internet, ¿no? Y es muy difícil aprender cosas en ese
Pues me
aspecto.
imagino.
porque pues no podía pagar 3 o 4 horas, ¿no? Que pues es normalmente lo que necesitas al día para poder aprender algo.
Hmm. So you went to this cafe and you could not afford to stay in the cafe for 3 or 4 hours.
Ah,
So
tan complejo.
so you would
Ya,
stay there for like 15 minutes just to learn a little bit.
sí. Y pues al final perdí el interés, ¿no? Porque no veía que avanzara
Hmm.
como yo quisiera, ¿no? Yo me interesaba mucho en, yo quería hacer mis páginas web, diseñar aplicaciones móviles, juegos y cosas así. Y pues no se podía.
Yeah, so it's essentially impossible to learn it with 15 minutes. So you lost interest because you wanted to build apps, websites, and other things.
Yeah, and also I guess Python, it was not very good for that at that point. Well, it was
Hmm.
brand new, so basically it was a very basic version of Python, so you can't do too much things with that. Right now you can build whatever you want with Python, but at that time it
Unlimited.
was, yeah, at that time it was almost impossible build something useful.
This is
Well,
2012, right?
yeah, well, and also for my possibilities, probably if I if I at that time if I own my own computer, probably I could do something interesting. But
Hmm.
probably probably I also can mining Bitcoin because I remember when Bitcoin just uh, start and see some people talking about it and things like that. But I mean, I was poor, man. But
Yeah,
what I can do.
I don't. So, you know, this is something that people don't realize, right? Is there's so much of the world that does not have internet. And even in the United States, there are parts where the internet is hard to get, let alone in a third world country. Um, and can I remember some of the stories that you told me when you were growing up. Can I share some of them,
Yeah,
or at least
don't
one
worry.
part? Because I remember you telling me that, for a long time you would just sleep on the floor, and the floor was not like real, like wood or tile. It was just like dirt.
Yeah,
And that was just a normal night for you growing up in Tlaxcala. And the family situation was not very good. And the money obviously did not really exist. And if I remember right, there were some times where you didn't eat very much, right?
yeah. It was hard because um, when you live in, I just right now I just have a problem with living in Mexico City because, well, at least in the zone I'm living right now, because I don't feel that I belong here
Mm-hmm.
for all of
Mm-hmm.
that things like growing in the poverty, um, with very limited resources from any
Mm-hmm.
kind, and just live here and see the people spending and consume
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, and just
Mm-hmm.
it is almost I don't know how to say it, but for me I feel bad, very bad. And I know it's not my problem that many people is in Mexico. There are two sides. I can't. I'm not in control to let the people don't spend money, don't consume, don't do things,
Right.
because I I'm doing it also. So,
Yeah.
but also sometimes I feel like bad for the people who can't do that kind of
Yeah.
things. Like,
Yeah.
and I guess that is one of the reasons that I just want to move to Mexico City and go back to Tlaxcala, because I feel that I don't belong here, and it's weird. I don't know how to explain it.
No,
Es
yeah. You
raro.
feel a little guilty, right? That and when you grow up with nothing and you're surrounded by wealth and people making money and people just kind of spending money, you feel like you don't belong, right? You're not part of that system or that part of society.
Sí, creo que hay un problema como de síndrome del impostor, no sé cómo se
Imposter
dicen.
syndrome.
Ajá, como si en algún punto yo no me sintiera parte de esto porque no me lo mereciera, pero al contrario, no he trabajado mucho para lograrlo, pero aquí hay dos grandes problemas.
So you said that you feel like sometimes you feel like you don't deserve something, but to the contrary, you have worked very hard for it, so you should be able to enjoy it and do as you wish.
Yeah, but I don't know, it's a little bit, there are many things to consider. I mean, one of the most important things that I'm doing right now is like trying to reconnect with all the people in Tlaxcala, like trying to help to improve their abilities. I mean, I'm not going to like go to Tlaxcala and just give them money and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
go and spend it in useful things and useless things. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I just really want to help that people to learn something with, and with that knowledge, just start making money or things like that. But the things are never
Open
easy.
the opportunities.
Yeah, but the things are never easy in Mexico. And right now, the political scenario and geopolitical and also economic, it's very hard. I mean, uh, pareciera ser que las cosas están yendo bien en México y por algún lado lo es, ¿no? Es verdad. Al menos desde mi situación puedo decir que yo me siento todo, ¿no? Al menos para los estándares de México, pues en una posición incluso privilegiada, ¿no?
So otra vez con tu internet, pero you said that, you can, from one side, you can say that Mexico is doing good because it's true, it is doing good. For example, yourself, but in reality, having some internet connection problems.
I I just hate my internet. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my connection because man, wow, fuck it, man.
Yeah, it's having trouble again.
Yeah, I hate my life. But never mind.
¿Estás en México o estás en Tlaxcala?
No, estoy en México, pero este modem tiene muchos problemas.
Pues a ver, ahorita seguimos, ¿no?
Sí,
Y a ver qué pasa.
si no lo volvemos a intentar.
So internet problems, Mexico City, Mexico, Mexico, you know,
Sí.
same old Mexico.
I mean,
And you're in Mexico City, so you would think that the internet would be good, but sometimes it's still not the best.
yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I don't want to be this kind of person, but I really feel sometimes like I hate this fucking country. And I grew here, my whole family is here, but sometimes I just say fuck it.
Yeah. So we were talking about part of Mexico, and it's true, is growing, it's getting better, economic, political. Like Mexico got democracy in the 90s, things are better, blah, blah, blah. But for a lot of people, for probably most people, what do you think? Like, how do you?
Man, we are talking about a country who has most of the 50, well, almost 50% of the people in this country is living with, I don't know, like poverty, but not extremely poverty, but poverty at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
living with probably, I don't know, like um less than $500 per month. A whole
Yeah.
family living with that money is just ridiculous. Uh,
Yeah. I did a
and
presentation for work about Mexico, and I think like the average income, depending on where you find the information, but if you Google it, I think it was like 13,000 a year is like the average. And probably the reason it's so high is because there's a handful of people at the top making a lot of money, right? So it pulls the average up. But in reality, most people, like you said, $500 a month, maybe less.
yeah, maybe less. Oh, I mean, yeah, like the minimum salary in Tlaxcala is like $300 per month. And this is a minimum for Lao, but I know people making less money than that.
Because that's the other
And
thing about Mexico. They don't enforce the laws very well.
yeah,
So maybe the minimum is $300 a month, but if somebody pays you $200 a month, nobody cares.
less,
One
and no
hundred
one cares.
dollars a month, nobody
Yeah, and no one
cares.
cares. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah, here in America, you if they pay you less than minimum wage, you can sue them. Unless you're illegal, then you have to be a slave to whatever the employer will pay you. But usually you can sue them, you go to court, you have rights here. Maybe you don't have the money to enforce those rights because it's expensive to go to court, it's expensive to take time off, but at least there is an option, a reasonable option, and a reasonable chance to get the right thing implemented and enforced. Over there, even if you take the time off, even if you get a lawyer, there's a good chance that nothing will happen.
yeah, and most part of the time, that kind of jobs are very bad. I mean, uh, the work conditions, at least in Tlaxcala, uh, they are very bad, very bad. El tiempo que uno trabaja es muy alto y la retribución es muy baja.
Yeah, so
Aunque
the working conditions are really bad. The hours are really long, no safety, nobody cares.
sí, and also, I mean, the government knows it, but they don't give a fuck. I mean, there are many, yeah, that's the reality of the Mexican government. Any
Mm-hmm.
kind of government, and as the country and also the local governments don't give a fuck about anything. They are just in the power just to steal money from the, yeah, contribuyentes, ¿cómo se dice?
From the constituents,
¿Cómo?
constituents
Yeah, constituents. Yeah, they just steal money from these constituents, and
del pueblo, ¿no?
yeah, basically,
Yeah.
and they just don't do nothing about anything. I, right now I have a very bad problem with all the politicians in Mexico. I can't understand how they are they have that no sé cómo decirlo en inglés, pero esa falta de empatía, a lack of empathy
Mm, yeah.
hacia la realidad del país, porque tú los ves hablando, justo el próximo año, pues son las elecciones del país y
Es
actualmente,
el último año de AMLO, ¿no?
sí, así es. Entonces, desde ahorita ya empezaron las carreras presidenciales, ¿no? Ya hay muchísimos candidatos que están pues empezando a hacer pre-campaña, lo cual es ilegal, pero pues aquí en México a nadie le importa lo que diga la ley, ¿no? Todo es en México, puedes hacer lo
So,
que quieras.
so next year there's going to be elections. It's the last year of the current president. They're already doing pre-campaign events and everything else, which is against the law. But because it's Mexico, nobody gives a shit. So they just do whatever they want.
Sí, lo están justificando con que son campañas internas para su partido,
Mm,
pero pues publican todo en Facebook, Twitter, en todos lados, ¿no?
see. So basically, they say, "Oh no, they're in the internal, independent events, not meant for the public, but it's on Facebook, Twitter, it's everywhere."
Yeah, that's very stupid. And also, I have uh, one more problem with it.
Okay.
Ah, durante todo este periodo que han estado haciendo precampañas, ninguna de las personas que está haciendo precampañas tiene, no sé cómo decirlo, en México hay una expresión un poco grosera que
Okay.
se llama, no, otra vez con el internet. En México hay una expresión un poco grosera que se dice no tener madre. Es cuando tú no, no, no eres congruente, pero de manera grosera. Cuando estás haciendo algo que sabes que está mal
Mm-hmm.
y aún así lo haces y aparte te jactas de eso, ¿no? Lo presumes. Eso es no
Mm-hmm.
tener madre.
Es diferente que
Y,
cuando dicen, oye, pues le vale madre.
sí, es básicamente lo mismo.
Mm-hmm.
Pues
Les vale
sí,
madre.
exacto, pero no tener madre implica más como una falta de empatía,
Ajá.
porque
Porque no
en
solamente no les importa, pero saben que lo que están haciendo es mal, ¿no? Y de todos modos lo hacen.
sí, y muy aparte del proceso electoral que se tenga que seguir, lo
Mm-hmm.
que no tiene madre para mí es el discurso que están tomando. Como este país ya está muy dividido
Mm-hmm.
desde que llegó a Andrés, pues creo que todo el mundo actualmente está muy dividido en cuanto
Sí,
a
ahorita
política
sí.
se refiere.
So really fast, the candidates, they all are giving face. So they know what they're saying is fake. They don't really care about the people. And yet they go out there and really try to sell it. Like, oh, I'm the good guy. Vote for me. I will make things better. But they know it's not true. They know they're not going to do anything, but yet they go out there with a certain audacity to just rub it in your face that they're the ones. And the country right now is very, very divided, especially since AMLO, what, 5 years ago, came into office. But in reality, the whole world seems to be very split, like one side versus another side.
Así es, y el problema aquí es más grande, ¿no? Porque empiezan a recorrer el país y todo, y cuando tú ves a esa gente, no sé a quién quieren ver la cara
Mm-hmm.
pues, de tonto, ¿no? Es
Yeah.
gente que nunca ha salido de la Ciudad de México, es gente que no le ha tocado vivir en México como a mí, o como a muchas otras personas, como al 50% de la población de este país,
Mm-hmm.
o probablemente más. Y
Seguramente más.
tratando de vender una idea, ay, es que yo soy un chico humilde, voten por mí, es que esto, es que lo otro, es que yo voy a hacer mejor las cosas. Cuando todos sabemos que no es así,
Mm-hmm.
todos sabemos que ellos están trabajando para sus propios intereses y los que están financiando sus campañas. No hay, no hay realmente alguien en estas campañas que se rija por ideologías. Todos están aquí por intereses. Y ahí es donde, para mí, la política muere y la democracia muere. Cuando se dejan de hacer las cosas por políticas, digo, por ideologías y se empiezan
Mm-hmm.
a hacer por intereses.
So basically, all of these guys are going throughout the country saying, "Oh, vote for me. I will take care of you. I will fight for your interests, blah, blah, blah." But in reality, they're just fighting for their own interest and the interest of the companies and people that are funding their campaigns who are essentially, you know, destroying democracy and destroying everything because it's no longer, these elections are not about ideologies, about what's right, what's wrong, but rather about how can I protect the interest of these people or these companies and myself, right? So there's no more real politics, no more democracy. It's just which asshole are you going to vote for to protect the interest of themselves and the people who are funding their campaigns.
Yeah, that's basically what the politicals start doing in Mexico, and I just hate that. And that's the main reason that I really want to move to America or whatever place where I just, I mean, I just want to live in a country who at least respect the democracy and and also hear the necessities of the citizens. It's what I want, but it's almost impossible to find a country who already do so. So it's it's a very weird position.
Yeah, and me knowing Mexico not as well as you, um, but living here, I think the biggest difference is the minimum standard, right? Um, the standard in America is give people as much as you can, but just enough, but not enough to give them power, right? So even the poor people here, for the most part, can afford to have a house, you know, or shelter, I should say, like an apartment. They can afford to get gasoline and buy food. Not always enough, not always the best, low quality. It gets tough here. But if you do get down to that point, there are programs to help you buy food, that will help you find shelter, that will help you do whatever. So the poorest of the poorest here are almost living in luxury compared to the average person in Mexico, right? Um, because democracy here is not some shining star and it's perfect because we have the same problem. Tenemos el mismo problema, ¿no? Todos
Yeah,
van a platicar de, oye, vamos a arreglar todo, vamos a hacer todo bien y somos para el pueblo, ¿no? Soy del pueblo, bla, bla, bla. Pero en realidad les vale madre, ¿no? Van a hacer lo mínimo para que todos estén bien, lo mínimo. Y para los
sí,
ricos y todo ellos, pues los vamos a ayudar más porque ellos tienen la lana, ¿no? Um, but the standard, the minimum standard of living here is so much better than in most of the world. And
yeah,
there's a few countries in Europe that have it figured out pretty well. Like it's working pretty good. But it's rare. It is very rare. And to your point, it's hard to find that place where quote unquote democracy works and people can actually survive. Because I think Iraq still has elections. I don't know. I don't know what's happened in the last 5-10 years, but they used to have democracy. People used to go vote. They would put their thumb and vote and they would be proud, but they're all living in in ghettos and the the conditions were shit.
yeah,
Democracy does not mean good, right? Mexico has democracy, it's shit. When we went to Colombia, they have democracy and they were living maybe worse than Mexico, maybe. Um
yeah,
it, it it's it's when politicians are there, to your point about interests versus true political ideology, and how do we kind of move forward as a whole, as a, because nobody, even in America, no politician, no matter how left or how right, will ever say no, no more capitalism, no more this, no more that, more rights for workers. In reality, they all say, oh yeah, we'll raise the minimum wage, oh we'll help this, we'll help that, but nothing ever changes, right? And yeah,
Ah, creo que no tenemos ningún país en el mundo que tenga realmente democracia bien aplicada.
yeah, there's no country in the world that has democracy perfected, right? Well, perfectly run, or really well implemented.
Sí, el problema, al menos en muchos lugares de Latinoamérica, es que, mm, como mencionas, el estándar mínimo es una basura y además de eso, la gente que está llegando a estas posiciones, pues pertenece a las cúpulas de poder, ¿no? Y es complicado que llegue alguien que no pertenezca a ese ambiente.
Mm-hmm.
Y esa es una de las razones por las que, al menos para mí, Andrés Manuel fue un game changing para el país,
Mm-hmm.
porque es una persona que no pertenece a esas cúpulas. ¿Cómo llegó a capitalizar tanto económica como políticamente su movimiento? Es otra cosa en la que no me voy a meter porque hay mucha polémica detrás, ¿no? Pero al menos en cuanto al sentimiento y al sentido de pertenencia que el grueso de la población tiene, pues es hacia él, porque realmente es alguien que no pertenece a todas estas cúpulas. Si tú te pones a ver a día de hoy, todos y cada uno de los candidatos que están compitiendo para las elecciones del próximo año son gente que, como te digo, no ha salido nunca de la Ciudad de México, que no conoce el país y las necesidades reales de la sociedad mexicana.
So you said, what you were saying is that the minimum standard in Mexico and Latin America is trash. And so there's no democracy there that is well run or well implemented, especially when all the politicians are coming from the same wealthy circle. And in Mexico in particular, a lot of these new candidates that are running for political power have never left Mexico City. They're from Mexico City. They come from the same, you know, circle of wealth and power. And so that's part of the problem. And that's why the current president, AMLO, um, he became a game changer because he's not from that circle, right? So he is an outsider who came in, for one. How did he become so popular and getting so much power? You don't want to talk about, because that's a lot, you know, discussion and maybe disagreements and whatever. But the point is, he is an outsider, and that's why he became so popular, and that's why the people like him overall. But the people that are like in those circles and people from Mexico City are not necessarily his biggest fan, because he is an outsider.
Sí, y muchos de los proyectos que estuvo realizando, que ha estado realizando, pues otra vez, hay hay muchas maneras de verlo, pero la realidad es que al menos con esto del tren,
El Tren Maya.
por primera vez alguien en este país o en un chingo de tiempo está viendo por esa parte del país, ¿no? Que toda esta zona sur está abandonadísima, ¿eh?
Mm-hmm.
Tenemos las mayores concentraciones de pobreza en el país están en esta zona, en la zona sur del país. La
Mm-hmm.
mayor, pues sí, tenemos gente ahí viviendo con un salario de 3,000 pesos, 2,000 pesos también, manteniendo una familia, las condiciones, la infraestructura, todo está mal allá. Bueno, tal vez no todo, no vivo allá, pero gran parte de los problemas han surgido porque nadie volteaba a verlos. Ningún programa social implementado en el pasado.
Ni económico.
Sí, ha enfocado en desarrollarse esa zona. Y al menos hoy sí entiendo que hay un daño ambiental grandísimo ahí, que no le preguntaron a nadie cómo hacerlo, solo lo hicieron y ya, porque pues también es México, no necesitan permiso de nadie más que pues sí, ¿no? Y hay un daño ambiental grandísimo, es un proyecto que probablemente a nivel económico y financiero no sea muy viable, pero ahí va la otra, ¿no? Va a desarrollar mucho esa zona y son zonas que lo necesitan y hay una proyección de, no sé, como 1 millón y tantos empleos que va a crear. Pero sí, puedes decir, bueno, 1 millón de empleos no es mucho. Lo es cuando te pones a pensar que no va a ser 1 millón de personas, va a ser probablemente 1 millón, sí, ¿no? Y familias que antes no tenían, pues, de dónde sacar un sustento.
Ujú,
Y aquí es donde la otra realidad del país llega. Esta gente, el discurso del otro lado que está atacando este proyecto es, y muchos de los programas sociales que el actual presidente ha implementado es que um, les están regalando dinero. Pero cuando tú vas a estas comunidades, cuando tú realmente conoces a la gente, cuando no solo vives aquí en tu círculo de la Roma y la Condesa, cuando sales y
claro.
conoces el Real México, te das cuenta que ellos no están pidiendo nada. ¿Tú crees que si tuvieran trabajo y una manera digna de ganarse el sustento, estarían menegándole al gobierno? Para nada, es gente que se levanta todos los días a las 5 de la mañana, camina 2 horas nada más para conseguir agua, luego regresa a su pueblo, va a cuidar su ganado, lo que siembren o no sé, y hacen su lucha todos los días. O sea, gente, no es gente que quiera que le regalen las cosas, es gente que realmente necesita que los programas sociales lleguen allá y que el desarrollo llegue allá.
Ujú. A ver, a ver, a ver. Has dicho mucho. Uh, so AMLO, for the first time in a very, very long time, has actually looked at different things in the country outside of where the money is. And so the train that he's creating, the El Tren Maya, is focused in the southern part of the country where for a very long time has been ignored. It's the poorest, probably some of the poorest areas in the whole country. No government programs, no economic programs, no social services. And this new project is actually bringing opportunity and jobs and work um, to the area. Now, it's not perfect because it's Mexico, so a lot of these areas maybe did not have nobody gave them permission to go and build the train or build towns or whatever, but at least it's shedding light and opportunity into those some of these areas. And then they say, oh, it's only going to be 1,000 jobs, right? 1,000 jobs is nothing. But in reality, it's not 1,000 people having a job. It's 1,000 families who will now have something, right? These people are making what like 100, $200 a a year or somewhere around and like extreme poverty. And so just a sliver of opportunity and one good job will just change everything. And on top of that, what was the last part? Oh, the other part is the government today, AMLO, what he is doing is he's giving away money to these, you know, impoverished areas. And people say, oh, well, these people are just asking and begging for free money. They don't want to work, but that's not true. The reality is these people are waking up early. They have to walk an hour or two to go find fresh, clean water. They tend to, whatever they do have, it's not that they don't want to work. It's just that there is literally nothing there. So what are they supposed to do, right? So when the government comes in and starts giving them money, it's not because they don't want to work or they don't or they just are looking for a handout, but the reality is there's just nothing there. So the government is kind of providing something, at least a sliver of hope.
Así es.
Man, that was a
En
lot.
resumen, sí. Sí, y mira, la verdad es que mm, hay muchas ideas encontradas, pero en realidad solo hay una. Y los datos no se equivocan. Y los datos y la realidad de este país, bueno, trabajo como, bueno, soy software engineer, pero estoy trabajando como data engineer actualmente, ¿no? Mi trabajo son los datos.
Hmm.
Y la información que hay en México, pues no es favorable. Y la realidad en este país es muy diferente a como al menos gran parte de los que tienen voz quieren hacer creer.
Yeah, so
Eh,
that's a lot of the media and political manipulation, no? So you're saying like the data doesn't lie, the numbers do, you know, from a high level look good, but a majority of the population in Mexico is not benefiting. They are not doing good. They are not doing well.
sí, ese es el principal problema, es que atacar todas esas necesidades y ni siquiera tienes lo básico. Estamos hablando que hay pueblos que ni siquiera tienen servicios de agua potable, no tienen drenajes, no tienen escuelas. Es una realidad muy distinta y muy diferente y que contrasta mucho a la realidad de la Ciudad de México y de gran parte de las ciudades grandes.
Yeah,
Y ni
so if
siquiera es necesario salir de la Ciudad de México.
yeah, so this is part of, bueno, is that a lot of these towns, a lot of the parts of Mexico don't have schools, don't have electricity, don't have water, don't have anything. And a lot of the stuff focuses on the cities like Mexico City that have everything. So people in Mexico City and in other larger cities do not need to leave their space, right? They have everything and they forget that the rest of the country is terrible.
Sí, no, y aparte, a veces tampoco necesitas dejar la ciudad para encontrar esas realidades.
No, pues sí.
En esta ciudad puedes encontrar también todos esos problemas. Aquí estamos enfrentándonos a una realidad pues bastante complicada de solucionar y que no se va a solucionar en 6 años. Y si seguimos teniendo este tipo de políticos y gente defendiéndolos como lo hacen a día de hoy, no vamos a lograr nada. El problema de México no es la gente. Bueno, sí hay un gran problema en la sociedad, hay
Pero eso
como
es
todo.
normal entre todos, ¿no?
Sí,
Entre el mundo. If I heard you right, the people, it's not the people are not the problem. It's the politicians. The politicians are never going to change. So the country is kind of doomed. But at the same time, there is a slight problem with the people, but that's a normal thing around the world, not just in Mexico. And the biggest problem is that the people have been subjugated, or brainwashed to believe certain things, right? Um, and yeah, I mean, yeah, así es.
sí, el problema es que la clase política de este país vive en un, no sé, yo creo que conocen los datos, ellos tienen mejores datos seguramente que los que yo tengo, pero ellos deciden vivir en un país de mentiras, ¿no? Donde no hay narcotráfico, donde no hay pobreza,
No, pues esa es
donde
otra
no...
cosa. Entre los narcos, entre las empresas, entre los políticos, no, pues nunca vas a ganar, ¿no?
Sí, la verdad
Bueno,
es que
se puede, pero es muy difícil.
sí, es triste. Es triste porque, bueno, retomando, empezamos a hablar de todo esto por cómo yo me convertí en ingeniero de software, ¿no? Porque, y así es como yo lo digo, tuve mucha suerte y de todo tipo. Pero ninguna de las condiciones de mi vida favorecían a que yo pudiera desarrollar una habilidad como estas, pero a pesar de ello tuve suerte. Interés, claro, de mi parte, habilidad, supongo que habilidad, ¿no? Si no, no seguiría trabajando en esto. Y talento también, ¿no? Pero creo que lo más importante es eso, que tuve suerte,
Ujú.
porque basando en toda esta plática, este país no ha cambiado nada. Tal vez ahorita tenemos un game changing a nivel político, pero social y económicamente seguimos igual. Entonces, las situaciones iniciales no favorecían para nada que yo pudiera desarrollar algo así. Y fue gracias a que en su momento se dieron las oportunidades. Yo me fui a trabajar a los 16 años a una empresa que hacía inyección de plásticos para autos ahí
Mm.
en Tlaxcala. Y ahí tenían robots y pues parte de lo que hacíamos era dar mantenimiento a esos robots y el primer acercamiento ya formal, un poco más profesional a la programación fue ahí, cuando tenía que modificar algún código de algún robot y eso, ¿sabes? En C. Y pues,
So what you were saying is, the reason we're talking all about this is because I asked you how did you become a software engineer, and throughout the time from back then to today, nothing has really changed in Mexico, economic and socially. And what you credit for the most part is luck, right? Um, it's not common for someone to just get up and just move up and become a software engineer. You have the talent, you have the ambition, you worked hard, but it's at the end of the day a lot of luck. Um, and then when you were 16, you started working for a company that did plastic parts of like an automobile factory, and you were doing programming and maintaining the robots that were in this factory.
sí, y estuve trabajando ahí por 2 años. Al final, pues decidí salirme, ¿no? Porque pues, aparte estaba muy chico. Entonces, mm, digo, actualmente tampoco sé qué hacer con mi vida, menos a los 18 años sabía qué hacer. Cuando salgo de trabajar de ahí, me voy a trabajar a una empresa pequeña en mi pueblo con unos amigos y ahí empiezo a desarrollar más habilidades de electrónica, a programar también pues hardware, específicamente pues para máquinas, ¿no?
Mm-hmm.
Ya tenía experiencia, me ayudó bastante. Y de repente, pues hice el brinco, cambié de área, de programar embebidos a programación de más alto nivel, ¿no? Como bien sin Python y todas esas cosas.
So you worked there for 2 years, and then you worked at another place, and then you started to learn new skills, and that's where you really mastered Python. Um, and so fast forward, you're working at these places, um, and then I met you because how old are you right now?
22 years old.
Right now, 22.
Yeah.
Nah.
¿Sí? ¿Quieres ver mi INE?
¿Tenías 21 años
Sí,
cuando te conocí?
sí.
No mames. Okay, so you're 22 years old. Oh man, now I really feel old.
I know.
I thought, man, in my head, I feel like I turned 3 years older and you just turned 2 years younger. That's not okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I met you in Mexico City at a language exchange. And yeah, we just started hanging out. You like to drink. I like to drink sometimes. Don't tell my mom. Um, and yeah, I think what clicked for me was, you know, learning that you were from Tlaxcala. I didn't know what Tlaxcala was, and then just kind of learning your background and relating to some of these stories, right? Because we got out of Mexico because of the situation, the economic situation, um, and the crime and all that other stuff. And listening to you go through a similar journey of coming from nothing to something, and your circumstances are 100 times tougher than mine, right? Like when I was 12 years old, how old were we when we had our first? So even in Mexico, so back when I was 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, my dad was obsessed with like technology. And some of the first home PCs, my dad would go and buy it. We didn't have a lot of money, but Mexico was not as fucked up as it is today. So there were more opportunities in Mexico back then, and we were able to have like a little, black and white TV. We were able to have a little PC. We were able to have like certain things. We moved to the US, and it's just easier to buy things here. So I think the first computer that we bought was like a Windows 95 in 1995. And
Wow.
I was lucky. I always had like at least a computer at home to use. I remember going to sixth grade, and we took in sixth grade, I took a computer class. And when I mean a computer class, it literally meant this is a monitor, this is the computer, this is a keyboard, and this is a mouse. Here's how a mouse works: you double click to open folders, you single click to highlight. Like it was super, super, super basic. And I was advanced in that class because I had a computer at home. So the first day of class, I show up and they're like, double click this icon. And I double click, and they're like, whoa, you know how to double click really well. And I was like, yeah, I have a computer at home. And they're like, oh, okay, like cool. Um, but when my parents are working two jobs, and you know sometimes like double shifts or whatever it is, they're struggling to just, we were living in very low income areas. um but again, not because I'm a genius and not because of anything else, it was mostly luck. I have had very, very good luck my entire life. I am where I am today, right? I am literally sitting in my own apartment in New York City doing a lot of things that I should not be doing, but I have the freedom and the options to do whatever I want, right? And I can travel the world and I can do all of this stuff. So it's a lot of hard work from my parents, a lot of luck, and me just kind of finding myself where I am today. But I am not the normal. The normal is, there were like, I don't know, let's say 50 kids that I knew growing up in my neighborhood. Out of those 50 kids, maybe, if I had to guess, between 5 and 10 of them actually got to a point where they were more than comfortable. And I would say that zero of them ever became rich, right? Like that's just not the norm. For you, I'm sure there were hundreds of kids, and you might be the only one that is a software engineer working for as a consultant in Mexico City, living in Mexico City, which gives you that, to your point, or to what you said earlier, is you have that imposter syndrome of, why am I here? I don't deserve this. Like it's not okay. And I get it because I have that all the time. Whenever people are like in a really nice, like nice restaurants, nice anything, I feel uncomfortable. I don't like it. My apartment is empty because I don't want anything. Like I, not that I don't deserve it, but I know the value of money, and I don't want to waste it, because when I first graduated college, oh man, I was wasting a lot of it because it was like, wow, I'm finally not poor. This is amazing. Not being poor is the best thing ever. But very quickly I realized, I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I need to be more responsible. Started to save money, bought a house. But then I moved to New York, and that went out the window again. I was like, oh shit, I'm in New York and I make more money. Let's spend it all. Um, but now it's like, no, I need to like be reasonable. I need to save. Um, yeah, when you know what it's like to be poor, you don't want that ever again. And you also have this mentality of if I want something, I'm going to buy it. Um, because you just couldn't do it back then, right? Um, I don't know. It's a weird dynamic, and this is something that I talk to other people about. Uh, like how many birds worry about doing their taxes? Like how many animals in this planet worry about doing taxes? None of them. Only humans. Like we're the weirdest creatures on this planet, and it's mentally a lot. It's not easy being a human, especially when you have like shitty situations and you live in a shitty country, like I how do you feel about Donald Trump?
Um, I feel weird about him. Uh,
Because I remember he said that Mexico and other countries are like shitholes or something like that. Like they were trash countries.
well, he's right in that point, but
I know
in some,
he is right.
he's right in some point, but uh, we can just ignore the responsibility that some countries and uh, some countries like America has in the current situation of Mexico. Of course, Mexico is a fucking piece of shit, but there are many things outside of the country, many factors who, in some point, just change the internal political
Oh
to
yeah, the
fuck it up.
the
Oh,
influence of the United States in other countries
yeah,
to make a mess.
yeah. In some point, I mean, I'm not saying America is bad or good. It's a country just defending their
Interests.
interests.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
but ha habido situaciones en la historia del país donde las intervenciones han tenido repercusiones que a día de hoy siguen teniendo peso. Sin
Hmm.
embargo, no podemos pues echarle toda la culpa a la intervención estadounidense. Hay mucha responsabilidad y más bien gran parte de la responsabilidad está en la gente y en los políticos locales. Entonces, concuerdo con que México es una basura, pero bueno, hablando serios lo es. O sea,
Hmm.
no
Hmm.
puedes catalogar de otra forma a un país que
No lo
tiene a
puedes
más de,
negar.
sí, pues, un país que tiene el 50% de su población viviendo en pobreza, que no es el mejor país del mundo. Y el problema es que ha habido tanta... Trigiversan mucho los discursos y con Trump al menos no creo que sea lo mejor para México, pero probablemente para Estados Unidos sí, porque ya vimos que Biden, como cualquier otro político, solo sirve a los intereses de quienes fondean sus campañas.
The so you said that even though the US has intervened and there are always going to be outside interventions into other countries, we cannot solely blame that for the shit show. And there's a lot of internal affairs. And even though, Donald Trump said that it is a shit show, shit country or whatever, he's right when 50% of your population is in poverty or more of the population is in poverty. Um, and so even though Trump might not be the best for Mexico, Trump might be better for the US because Biden is just one of those classic politicians that is looking out for the interest of not the people
Sí, al menos desde mi perspectiva,
from your perspective.
sí, porque digo, tal vez puedas tener, y tú seguramente tienes una visión más, am, ves más panorama que yo, porque pues aparte estás viviendo allá, ¿no? No, no, yo
Pago
no te
mis
puedo,
impuestos.
sí, yo no te puedo llegar a decir a ti cómo es que su país debería de ser, porque yo no vivo allá. No, no soy parte de esa realidad, pero sí soy parte de muchas de las consecuencias que su realidad tiene, ¿no?
Mm-hmm.
como ahora que está en la mesa todo el tema de la intervención militar para poder combatir a cárteles y todo esto,
Hmm.
hay bastante, hay bastante en juego actualmente. Y de algún modo entiendo y hasta cierto punto estaría de acuerdo con una intervención así, pero tampoco me sentiría cómodo con la idea, porque hemos visto qué pasa cuando Estados Unidos entra militarmente a un país.
Nunca se van,
No, déjate de
nunca
eso, cuando
salen.
se van, dejan peor que como estaba, como en Afganistán.
Sí. So part of what you're saying is like, okay, you cannot tell me how it is, but because you don't live here, but part of the discussion is like how the U.S. gets involved in other countries, and part of the discussion is the cartel and how at least Trump or certain politicians are like, hey, we'll send in the military and wipe them out, right? And this is something that I talk to other people about as well. When they're like, well, when the U.S. gets in, yeah, it might be good to get rid of the cartel, but when the U.S. military gets into a country, you know, apart from them never leaving, is they usually create a bigger mess than what they came in to fix, and it gets worse. But
Sí,
let me show you. Let me. Hay un meme. So there's a meme,
ok.
and it says where the U.S. has bombed since World War II, and Guatemala, 1954, 1954, Guatemala, Cuba, 1959 through 61, Guatemala again in 1960, Guatemala again, 67 through 69. Poor Guatemala. El Salvador, 1980s, Nicaragua, 1980s, Panama, 1989. So the US has been very, 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 very involved in Latin America. Um, from Mexico to Cuba to Colombia to Argentina, all the countries, right? And I think we're not gonna escape it. No, Latin America is the neighbor of the U.S. And actually, through reading uh, the book of Simon Bolivar, uh, man, the founding fathers and early on, they hated Latin America. Um, and this is a quote from John Adams, the father of John Quincy Adams. And this is a quote about the people of Latin America. He said, the people of Latin America are the most ignorant and bigoted, the most superstitious of all Roman Catholics. Any attempt to promote democratic government in Latin America would be absurd as similar plans would be to establish democracies among the birds, beasts, and fish. It they don't. You cannot deny the history and the effect of a superpower, especially since the beginning. Um, and I think part of the problem that Mexico, Colombia, Nicaragua, Ecuador, Peru, all of these countries have, Bolivia, is the complexity of racism and classism.
Yeah.
So in the United States, and Simon Bolivar talks about this, the United States was very smart in keeping it clean. What does that mean? It means only rich white men will control things. That's it. Nobody else can control anything. Rich white men. When you have a very what's it called, homogenous, a very clean view of the world, you can get shit done and you can move forward.
Yeah.
In Latin America, when the Spanish came, there were already, to your point, in Tlaxcala, there was already a system, right? There was a king, there were nobilities, there were landowners, there were workers. There's already a system that the Spanish can come in and say, okay, we get it. You guys are a civilization of XYZ. We can play to it. Um, and they utilize this system and they try to integrate. They didn't clean out, right? Like here in America, oh, you're a Native American, fuck you, you're gonna die. In Latin America, the Spanish said, oh, you're Native American, we will try to incorporate you into our system. And that's the biggest difference. Because then all of a sudden, it's no longer one clean view. It's indigenous, mixed, and European. And then you bring in slaves from Africa, and that brings a whole new dynamic. And those slaves, very early on, way before the US, were granted freedom as Latin American countries were gaining independence. So it just became a giant shit show of power and money and who wants, how can I control? How can I benefit myself? And that still exists today. The racism, the classism, uh, the politicians who just want to look out for themselves. Um, it just never it started and just never finished. It's never gone away.
Yeah.
Sí me entendiste, ¿no?
See, I mean, when one of the perfect examples of that is the revolution in Mexico. After of we having our dependency, we have our revolution,
Mm-hmm.
and this revolution, cuando empieza todo el movimiento revolucionario,
Mm-hmm.
pues bueno, una de las principales demandas era justamente mover a Porfirio Díaz, el presidente de ese entonces, que llevaba 30 años en el poder. Este sujeto pues decide exiliarse a Europa,
Mm-hmm.
pero queda esa ausencia, ¿no? Ok, bueno, ¿y ahora qué hacemos, no? Y aquí entran muchas figuras políticas y militares en el juego, y el problema empieza, o todo este shit show, como lo mencionaste, empieza aquí. Bueno, venía gestándose desde hace tiempo, ¿no? Pero el perfecto ejemplo para México es ese punto.
So the revolution is a
Empiezan,
perfect point of where it kind of all turned into a shit show because there was a president, essentially a dictator for 30 years or around there, and the revolution kicked him out, uh, and he moved to Europe, and that left a power vacuum where nobody was really in charge. So multiple leaders backed by military um, forces kind of like try to take over and fight for power. And that's where the shit show really started in Mexico.
sí, para mí es el punto inicial de todo pues, pues sí, todo el descontrol.
Mm-hmm.
Porque cuando se va Porfirio Díaz, esas facciones empezaron a tener problemas, ¿no? Y empezaron a pelear por el poder. Y al final es que de todo eso surgió el PRI, el Partido Revolucionario Institucional, que fue el partido que al final de cuentas, después de todos los, creo, como 10 años o 15 no recuerdo, que duró todo ese proceso, surge el PRI y de ahí es donde surge la hegemonía de este partido desde 1920, creo, 25, no, 23, no me acuerdo, hasta, pues hasta el 2000, el mismo partido político que surge de todo este shit show tuvo hegemonía por más de 80 años en el país.
Yeah. So essentially, when the power vacuum went away and everybody was fighting and leadership was fractured, out of that came the political party PRI, El PRI, and that's the political party of the Political Revolutionary Institute or something like that. Um, and then they essentially won every single election until the year 2000. And if I remember right, in the 90s, como en 1992 o por ahí, empezaron a, en realidad, contar los votos, ¿no?
Sí,
Yeah, so in the early 90s is when they really started to kind of start counting votes. And so democracy became a new thing in Mexico. Um, but man, como dice Simón Bolívar, una democracia no va a existir bien si el pueblo no está educado.
Sí, de acuerdo.
Y por eso él no quería tener presidentes, él no quería tener un sistema como los Estados Unidos, donde dicen, ah, mira, porque aquí en los Estados Unidos dijeron, ok, los blancos con dinero y con poder van a controlar el gobierno, ¿no? Allá no existía eso, ¿no? Era todo el pueblo tenía que votar. Entonces él no quería tener presidente, él quería tener como un dictador, ¿no? Y pues yo digo que eso está bien si el presidente se supone que va a ser presidente pues hasta que muere, ¿no? Y para mí está bien, pero solamente si es un presidente bueno.
Sí, de algún modo es parte del problema que actualmente tiene México. Cada 6 años pues se renueva el presidente y no hay continuidad en los proyectos,
Ujú.
como con el aeropuerto de la Ciudad de México, ¿no? Que se hizo todo un desmadre porque lo cancelaron y luego que no, y luego que sí, al final sí lo cancelaron y pues, se perdió un montón de dinero que, pues bien se pudo usar para otra cosa, ¿no? Y al final el problema actualmente pues es ese, ¿no? Que no hay continuidad de proyectos y aparte no hay repercusiones para toda esa gente. Yo tengo
Ajá.
un problema justamente tener errores así, cuando por un mal manejo del gobierno se pierden 100 millones de dólares, ¿no? O cosas así. Porque la mayoría de gente que actualmente está en la cúpula de los gobiernos sabe que puede cagarla con, no sé, arruinar un proyecto de 100 millones de pesos y nadie les va a reclamar nada y no se van a ir a la cárcel ni nada,
Ujú.
porque socialmente la gente no está educada ni preparada para tomar acciones contra esa
Uh-huh.
gente.
Uh-huh. 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 So what we were saying is Simon Bolivar said, democracy cannot exist in Latin America because they are not educated. It's not a clean cut like version like it is in the United States. And so what he was proposing was presidents for life. In other words, a dictator. And I agree with that because if you don't have an educated population, how are they supposed to elect leaders, right? I agree with it as long as the leader is good, right? Like the president has to be a good president. Um, and the point is so that they can establish a government, establish education, establish a proper society, so that in the future it can handle democracy. Um, and so what we were saying is that in Mexico, it doesn't. We have that problem where these presidents come in and they're only there for 6 years and then they're done. It's a one term, 6 years, you're done. So there's no continuity. Each president comes in and switches things up and mixes, like, there's no stability, I guess. And the perfect example is the airport, where Mexico City was about to get a new airport started by. ¿Quién fue el presidente?
Enrique Peña Nieto.
Peña Nieto. So this president started a project where they're building a brand new airport in Mexico City. It's going to be like the largest, nicest, whatever airport ever. And so they start building it. They literally had the foundation. And then the new president comes in and he's like, nope, I don't like that project. That project is corrupt. It's no good. Cancel everything. And the problem in Mexico is that there's no accountability. Nobody is held accountable for anything. And so Miguel was saying that essentially, like, there can be projects at his job that get canceled because of a politician, and the population and the people are not in this situation educated, financial, economic, whatever it is. They're not in the place where they can actually do anything to hold anyone accountable. And so the truth is, a democracy cannot truly be beneficial for the people if the people aren't already in a good spot.
Sí, y el problema de no tener tampoco un sistema de justicia que beneficie y castigue a esa gente es que pues tenemos los políticos que a día de hoy tenemos en el país. Gente sin escrúpulos, gente que prefiere su beneficio propio al
Hmm.
del resto. Y al final es un problema que nos debería importar a nosotros como sociedad mexicana, todos los que vivimos en este país, porque cada que cancelan un proyecto así, cada que el gobierno pierde dinero, no están perdiendo dinero del gobierno, están perdiendo dinero que a nosotros nos cuesta trabajo ganar. Y ahí es el problema, que la sociedad mexicana no tiene corrección política, no hay corrección social, ni la sociedad en sí ha desarrollado los mecanismos para poder presionar tanto institucional como políticamente a toda esta gente para que haga bien su trabajo, ¿no? Aquí el problema es tanto de instituciones, no hay instituciones fuertes en este país que realmente puedan tener un contrapeso y que le den voz y empoderamiento a la gente. Y por otro lado, tampoco hay interés en la gente por hacerlo. Entonces, es un panorama muy complicado para que México pueda
Yeah,
avanzar.
yeah. Mexico cannot advance because there's no institution that really looks out for the people, takes care of the people, and it's not the money of the government that we're losing. It's the money and the resources of the people, right? And people work hard to kind of get what they have, and yet there's nothing in place to take care of it. Okay, it's all been sad, doom and gloom. Uh, what's the good part of Mexico? 10 minutes for 10 minutes of just nothing but good. What is your favorite stuff about Mexico?
The food, the food.
Yeah, that's all.
Um,
That's all Mexico has. It's the
well,
los
I mean,
taquitos.
the people.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, even with all of that fucking problems, the people is always happy. I
I
mean,
know.
I know people who is living with us day, and they are all the time happy. I mean, you can talk with them, and they are always smiling. They are positive, and they don't have these shitty problems like me. Like, oh fuck, I'm doing $100 a day. I need to do more and more, and why I feel bad if I'm doing this money or things like that. And in some point, I understand that way to live, even with all that problems, I always feel inspired by these persons. Like I want to be happy as you. Like I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a blessing and a curse, right? When if you're being abused and treated poorly, but yet you're okay and you're happy, like you're lucky. You're lucky that you can smile. Um, you're making $5 a day or $10 a day or whatever it is, and you can still put a smile on your face and just be happy. That's great. And at the same time, it's bad because you're not demanding for better.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
¿cómo se dice? Hay una expresión en inglés para decir un arma de doble filo.
yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
¿Cómo? Double edge.
Double-edged sword.
Okay, yeah.
Um, yeah, because it's really good and it's also really bad.
Yeah, well, what the people is always smiling, very good. If you have the possibility of live in Mexico City with money and being young, I mean, this place is amazing for the party in many places, and I feel very good living in Mexico City in this perspective. Like, don't giving a fuck about the social problems and things like that. If you're this kind of person, you are going to love this city because this city has a lot of things. We have Chapultepec, which is my favorite place in the world.
Really?
Yeah, because I just take magic mushrooms, LSD,
Oh
many times
yeah.
there.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was amazing, man. Like
Oh yeah.
is not only this park is not only a place. It's more. spiritual, and I'm not like a hippie guy, but and nothing like that. But as you try all these things in a place like this, it just becomes magic. I don't know how to explain.
Yeah,
It's
it just
something
becomes
that you have
an
to,
amazing experience.
yeah, and you fall in love with that place.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. I mean, while I was living there, it's just I don't know. It's you become a little bit more carefree, relaxed. Um, you eat a lot more because it's amazing and it's cheap. Like you said, if you're young, if you have money and you don't give a shit about anything else, it's probably the best place to be. Um, and that's why every time I met Americans and foreigners that were living there, I mean, they were all like in love, right? Um, and they don't want to leave, and I get it. I get it. But there's a lot in Mexico. What else do you like? The food, the people, Chapultepec, LSD, shrooms.
uh, I don't know, man. Um, There, well, my family it's all in this country, so
Yeah.
I love being close from my family, and also the traditions are very good. I mean, like the Dia de Muertos and things like that.
Yeah,
I really,
the culture.
yeah, the culture in general, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have many problems with the culture, mm, even the biodiversity, and I don't know how to what is the word to say diversity, but in terms
Yeah.
of
The
no, no, not
animals,
not
nature.
animals, no, nature, yeah, but in kinds of nature like desert and
Oh,
um, there's a word, but I don't remember.
what is that word? Well, there's a variety of ecosystems, I guess, like deserts.
Yeah, ecosystems. Yeah,
Eco diversity maybe is the word.
right now, this point of my life is like I really need more nature in my life. Like I don't feel very good being I, I don't know how to explain it, but right now in my life I need nature.
Mm,
It's that is what I need, and I love being in this country because there are a lot of nature out there. I mean,
yeah.
you, well, I never noticed that when I was the past week I was in Tlaxcala, and I never noticed the amount of nature that is still being in even in the small cities. Many nature, and I just fall in love with it, and that's the reason I want to came back. One of the reasons I just want to feel more connect with the nature, with I don't know, have just a more peaceful life. I don't know.
Yeah. One, Miguel, you're 22 years old. So when you say, "Oh, this part of my life," you're still young.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
maybe because of the stress, the life experiences. Um, and I know that you are a very analytical thinker and you recognize everything. So I get it. Like I think nature can give you a sense of relief, a sense of relaxation, just getting away from everything. But the second thing is I if you Google, and I don't know how true this is, but you're supposed to touch like the earth, supposed to like every day. And it's good. It's actually like healthy. They call it grounding. And when you put your feet and or your arms or any part of your body onto the dirt, onto like actual ground, there's an electrical pulse going that goes to your body. Because in dirt and in the ground and everything else, there's billions of living organisms and communication between trees and fungi and plants and the grass. And there's a lot of that stuff. And when you step on it barefoot, you kind of gain some of those electrical energy. And I don't know how true these are, but if you Google grounding, you'll see experiments where they find that the electrical charge changes when you step on the ground. Um, is it that beneficial? I don't know. But it's supposed to be good for you. And so I get it. Nature is where we come from, and that's where kind of we belong. We just are so separated.
See, I went like one day with some friends, and oh, I just remember like I just sent you a picture with a bunch of mushrooms.
Mm,
Uh, do you remember it?
I don't remember when you did it.
Well, it was like probably 4 months ago, or three, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I was in Chapultepec, and I just took a
And for
lot of
everyone's
mushrooms.
clarity, Chapultepec is the big park in Mexico City.
Yeah, and I was there, and I just take a lot of mushrooms.
A lot of
Probably,
mushrooms.
yeah, probably like I don't know, like eight or five. No, well, like eight. I don't know how to say gramos, como
Grams.
grams, like 8 grams by myself, and the recommended doses for a single person was like 3 grams. And psychedelics, you can just pray for when the psychedelics just hit, you can just close your eyes and say everything is going to be okay. No, that shit is just getting higher and higher and higher, and you can just stop. You just need to accept that moment and say, well, I'm very fucked. And that's what I say. And after that, probably the first 2 hours was like very horrible. Probably, I don't know, like I was in other dimension, probably, and and I was like very scared, and also, and I with my friends, I was just looking how my friends was taking the trip, but they were okay. I mean, like I just remember that I saw his face, one of my friends, and he was like, "Wow, this is amazing. I feel very good." But I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was literally dying there, and I just after that I just start thinking a lot of my life and see what's going on and what to do and whatever. Many things start happen in my head, and also I think it was not the best idea because my well my prefrontal I don't know, mi corteza prefrontal del cerebro se
Uh,
desarrolla hasta los 25 años
oh yeah.
totalmente, y creo que no fue muy buena idea hacer esto antes de eso. Que tampoco me arrepiento, pero siento que I feel like in some way or this amount of mushroom just aceleraron.
Accelerate.
Yeah, just to accelerate my brain development. And right now I feel very, very weird. I don't feel like the same person.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. And even
Really?
yeah, to start taking the things and being more motivated to do some things that I was like afraid, and take more responsibilities in my job and learn more and just try to be more uh healthy.
Yeah.
I start mm, doing exercise, and I don't know, and also I feel like my life start getting better
Mm-hmm.
in at least in a personal level and things like that. But it's very weird because I before to take the mushrooms, I take DMT, I take LSD, and I take salvia, and any of that have this power. Like the mushrooms just change the way that I just see the world right now.
Wow. Okay. So the Spanish part that we kind of skipped over was the frontal lobe cortex. I don't know what it's called, but the human element of the brain that allows us to be cognitive and everything else doesn't fully develop until you're 25. And you were saying that when you did a shit ton of mushrooms, it you know it probably wasn't smart because it was like hitting you super hard, but you don't regret it. But it maybe accelerated the growth and the development of it because then you started doing everything right. And yeah, I mean, that's so weird because somebody that I know really wants to do mushrooms. And she literally told me, hey, because I've done shrooms, not as much as 8 grams or whatever, double, almost triple the recommended amount. But um, when I did mushrooms, it wasn't a game changer. It was just more like weird. Like you just but I didn't do a lot, right? I did a little bit. Um, but what she was telling me is that people have done LSD, DMT, salvia or whatever else. And yes, it's good and it's game changer and everything else, but mushrooms above all has been the grand experience that changes the way they live, the way they see things. Um, so to hear this makes me want to go find a lot of shrooms and go to Central Park.
uh, that will be perfect.
Huh.
I mean, the trip was way different than LSD and also different in GMT and salvia. I mean, it's a psychedelic at the end of the day, but
Yeah.
the the feeling was way different. Also, I just think that it was because I just take a very big
Dosage.
doses.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was weird. I mean, I was having more experience, so I was just expecting the same kind of feeling, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't. And I don't regret it, but I I don't know. I just feel weird about it. But to take psychedelics, you are not going to fix your life
Right.
just for take it. It's you need to do more things in your day to day. The psychedelic just it's just like a window who is open. If you want to look out and see more, I don't know, like the whole panorama of the things, you can go and do it. But after of that, if you don't change your life or start making change, uh, well, the cycle is never going to help you of anything.
Right.
Probably you see the way, probably you are going to see the things different, but at the end of the day, the real changes came from you when you're after of the experience of psychedelics. You after of that experience, you need to do things with that knowledge. If you don't do it, I mean, you are going to be the same person ever.
No, I agree. I agree. And I know a lot of people that enjoy doing a little bit of LSD and a little bit of shrooms and a little bit of other drugs just to make them feel good or feel different. But that's not the same as going all in, doing a real trip and accepting what you see because a lot of people don't feel comfortable losing control, right? And not losing control as in you're going to go and jump into traffic and be like a madman, but letting go. But when you took 8 grams of mushrooms, you have no choice, right? Like
Yeah.
you are like, oh shit, I'm about to go on this trip and I have no control. I accept what I'm about to see and feel. And I think that that's where the real benefit of these drugs come in. And to your point, it's up to you. It's up to you if you accept it, if you're willing to look in that window, if you're willing to step back and look at the full view of things, if you are, okay with changing your ways. And it's the change doesn't occur in those 2, 3 hours of being on a trip or however long your trip is. The real change comes after. And I remember my first time doing or acid, which is essentially LSD, in Chicago. Before that, I was getting high a lot because it was fun. It was a lot of fun to get high. My neighbor David had a lot of weed, and so we just did it for fun, right? It was just fun, 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 and you felt different and you felt great, blah blah blah. I did LSD, and the next day when he's like, "Hey, you want to get high?" I was like, "No, no, I don't." I just felt like when I was on that trip, you just see a complete view of the universe, and you see, I don't know, like a different perspective. And maybe it's not completely different, but it brings to the forefront what maybe you already knew but you don't pay attention to. um like sometimes you feel bad that you're losing time or you're eating unhealthy or whatever, but then you realize that, time isn't necessarily real. And everything waits for you to a certain extent. Um, and then when you eat bad, I mean, you can make little choices to eat a little bit better. Or if you're in the moment, enjoy the meal, right? If you're going to McDonald's, enjoy it, right? Um, being present. I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird what these drugs are capable of doing. And if you do it right, it is incredible. Incredible. But I have not had the opportunity to do shrooms or acid this year. Like, I don't think I've done anything like that since like October. And I only did like a little bit of shrooms in like October last year. And it was great. It got you a little high, a little bit of like a weird sensation, but it was not, you know, visions, and it wasn't disappearing and going into a trip and opening a window and stepping through that window and just coming out of it different. Um, so I need to do that soon. I miss it. I do miss a good trip.
Don't take 8 grams of mushrooms.
I don't know. I might. Anyways, I know that there's a lot of stuff going on with your life right now, Miguel.
Yeah,
And I will be in Mexico in a few weeks. We need to grab a beer and
many
and
beers.
catch up. Uh, and hopefully it's nothing but good stuff, right? Like, hopefully.
Yeah, uh I just hope that things start getting better, and I just need to make some change in my life. Like, um I just want to move to America, but the migratory situation right now, it's kind of hard. I've been waiting for almost 6 months to get my visa interview in the embassy, but it's almost impossible
Yeah.
right now.
And I don't want to get back into the politics things, but part of the reason that I voted for Joe Biden is to like have Donald Trump's immigration policies fully reversed and or improved. And Joe Biden has not done practically anything, um, which is fine. It just shows that the Democrats and the Republicans are essentially the same party, um, and that's fine. Like, I get it, I
Yeah,
accept it.
yeah, yeah. The only difference between Democrats and Republicans is who is funding his campaigns.
Yeah,
Al menos para mí es eso, pero
yeah,
pues espero que pronto podamos tomarnos muchas cervezas porque de verdad que que lo necesito.
No, pues nos echamos unas chelas y platicamos y pues disfrutamos. Nos vemos en el Ángel otra vez con nuestro, que era
Con nuestras chelas.
modelo negra.
Ajá. Porque, bueno, pues me tengo que mudar a Tlaxcala de nuevo y también tengo que empezar a ver, pues, qué necesito para emigrar, pues, legalmente, ¿no?
Pues sí,
Ya sea tanto de conocimientos como si necesitaría, obviamente necesito mejorar mucho mi inglés. Hay veces que, bueno, no he tenido la disciplina para mantenerme estudiando como antes. Antes podía enfocarme muchísimo, pero ahora con todo lo que está pasando, ya no es una opción no ser disciplinado. I guess in some point in your life, you just need to see what is the best for me right now and what I need to do to achieve all my goals. And more personal, but I feel very good for talking with you.
pues sí, como siempre es un placer y no, pero como yo siempre te digo, eres demasiado joven, este, y mira, estás haciendo las cosas bien, bueno, casi todas, y pues para mí, yo digo que debes de vivir en la ciudad, pero en un lugar más barato, y porque ahí sí vas a tener la oportunidad de conocer una gringa y ahí pues sacas tus papeles. Pero, pues obviamente debes de hacer lo que tú piensas que debes de hacer, ¿no? Y lo que tú piensas que es lo que necesitas hacer para mejorar tu vida y la vida de tu familia, ¿no? Porque, como dijiste antes, no es una familia que tiene, no es una persona que gana bien, es una familia que tiene oportunidad, ¿no? Y
Yeah,
pues eso es lo que tienes ahorita. Tienes una oportunidad de cambiar unas cosas y poco a poco vas aprendiendo y poco a poco vas a mejorar la situación que tienes.
yeah. If someone hearing this podcast needs the data engineer or no, no, man, I was no iba a decir lo que estabas pensando.
A ver, ¿qué vas a decir?
Que si alguien de aquí estaba buscando un ingeniero de software o de Big Data,
Ujú, ujú.
no me iba a ofrecer como, como esposo latino
Ajá, ajá. Si quieres un hombre de Tlaxcala.
que sepa programar.
Si tienes problemas con tu PC
¿Sabes a quién llamar?
y un problema de amor. Ay, 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 ay,
No,
ay,
no, no.
Miguel. Pues, mira, como decía Ali, ¿cómo se llama la amiga?
Delfina.
Delfina. Solution oriented.
Oriented.
Este,
Yeah.
no, todo, bueno, de lo que yo veo, todo te va bien. Y como siempre, solamente esa parte de tu cerebro que funciona demasiado, que está bien, está bien que funcione así, porque así adelantas, ¿no?
It's about perspectives.
Pues por eso tienes los shrooms.
Sí, creo que tengo aquí todavía como, yo creo que como 5 gramos.
¿Puedes conseguir más?
Sí, si quieres cuando vengas vamos a Chapultepec.
Pues yo digo que sí. Y
Sí, amigo, pues
pues sí, así van las cosas, ¿no?
voy a intentar una segunda parte hablando de unas cosas.
Sí,
Esta, la verdad es que por el internet no me gustó mucho. El internet no ayudó. Sí, sí sentí que se cortó muchas veces, no sé tú.
sí, demasiado, pero está bien, va a funcionar. Me voy a tardar en arreglar las cosas, pero lo voy a hacer. Bueno, Miguel, Miguel,
Miguel,
Miguel,
gracias, Pablo.
Pa- Pablo. Pablo, Pablo, Pueblo,
Pablo, Pablo,
Pedro.
Olva.
Um, no, pero gracias por platicar en el podcast y por la plática y por la amistad y todo eso, ¿no? Porque pues eres un gran amigo y pues te tienes que cuidar, oye,
Sí, sí, hay,
and
hay,
make
hay varias cosas que
the right decisions.
sí tengo que ahora mismo pensar en mucho y sobre todo asegurar muchas cosas en mi vida, pero el I still with the idea of create something um, and just look for uh, funding, creating a startup,
Mm-hmm.
and I just I just want to do public. ¿Cómo se llama? Disculpa, ¿cómo se dice?
Excuse me?
Hola. Ajá, pero una disculpa pública.
Oh, a public apology.
Yeah. I just want to do a public apology because I promised to done an app who Pablo and me were building for almost 1 year, and I didn't finish yet because I being very stupid doing many other things. and but we probably take all of this work back in the table the next month.
Yeah,
So
but building an app is not easy, and I did not study Python or any other coding language, so I could not help you. So I did not do my part.
yeah, I really want to talk in another podcast. Just need to fix my internet issues because I really like to talk about all of these technologies things and how we can build things in many ways. Like I'll talk about a little bit about ChatGPT and all this stuff.
Mm. Well, maybe the internet will be better in Tlaxcala with the escalator.
I think it's better. I mean, yeah, probably we can try it later.
Yeah, we can do another podcast in the future and we just talk about artificial intelligence and technology and apps and all of that good stuff.
Nice
Deal?
deal.
Well, Miguel, next time we're gonna have some chelas. We're gonna talk about whatever. But right now, I want to say thank you for making the time, for talking about kind of your background, being so open minded, and just being honest with your perspectives and everything else, right? Because we live in a world where people don't feel comfortable being open and talking about shrooms and politics and, you know, societal problems that we face in our history and where we come from, right? And where we are. So thank you. I appreciate it. And I cannot wait to go to Mexico, get a beer, get some tacos, and just be stupid.
Yeah, I love that part.
That's the best part of all. What's the point of
Yeah,
being alive if you cannot enjoy it, baby? Let's go.
I have to. I really want to go with you in a very special place.
Wait,
I don't know if you
that
remember it.
sounds very
It's
sexual.
no, not sexual. Well, probably a little bit, but not between us. I really want to go to the with Paris Bar.
Let's go. Let's go. Bring cash.
Never in my fucking life.
And that was right after the earthquake. Man, what a beautiful night.
Wow, we and I don't know how much hours, like 3 hours before go to airport
Yeah, before we
and
went.
go to Colombia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that
That, you know what? We'll talk about it in another podcast and we'll go through the whole story. But I think two things saved our lives that night. One, my New York City ID, and two, the fact that we told them that we were flying to Colombia in the morning, because if we go missing and we're missing from the airplane, maybe that, you know, raises flags. But I don't know. I don't know.
Well, we just have luck to still alive.
Oh yeah, I mean this is why you got to make the best of it, like no matter what shit happens, no matter the ups, the downs, the challenges, the I'm telling you, just going outside, feeling the air, watching people enjoy whatever it is, people watching, um it's all beautiful, it's all magical. And I oh man, we are so lucky to be born as humans and actually get to like acknowledge what is happening. It is beautiful.
Also have the not only being humans and have the ability to see the things like we do.
Yeah.
That's that's something I think more special than anything. Like being able to appreciate all the things in your life, being able to enjoy even when you are in a bad moment. Like right now, I'm not having the best time, but at the end on the and at the end, I am enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I am enjoying right now talking with you, enjoying my job. Well, sometimes I enjoy my job, but enjoy the food, enjoy the air, enjoy the people around me, my friends, my family. Um, and I want to say thank you for being my friend, for being so supportive with me, and also being very um, you support my goals and my dreams in some way, and that's something that I always going to be very grateful for. It's hard to find people where you can be yourself and talk about anything without feel judged in any way, in any kind of way. Like it's just um special.
Yeah.
It's
I think I judge you, but I tell you everything that I think.
yeah,
It's the
well
open
that's exactly
communication, right?
yeah, that's the word.
No, but yeah, it's mutually beneficial, mutual respect.
Yeah, well that's a very good friendship.
Yeah, absolutely. The best friends in this world will be honest with you. And if they disagree and if they think you're doing something stupid, they should say, "Hey, you know what? You're doing something stupid." Um,
Yeah,
and that's just the way it is.
and yeah, and if you decide to keep doing that stupid thing and you mess it up, the best friends just make fun about it.
Yeah, they'll say, "Hey, didn't I tell you not to do that stupid shit?" No, yeah. Miguel, I love you, dude. I cannot wait to grab some beers, tacos, go to Paris bar, and have a good and have a good time.
Yeah, that's that sounds amazing, man. Well, thank you for the opportunity to be in your podcast and for being your friend. And we still in touch.
Of course, of course, of course. I will see you in a few weeks.
Nice. See you, man.